CNN has an exclusive, you guys. I just went to CNN.com. U.S. suspects Russian hackers planted fake news behind Qatar crisis. Oh, come on, man. Come on. I'll put the link below, and then you got to watch the Wolf Blitzer brings this guy on to talk about this. So, U.S. investigators believe Russian hackers breached Qatar's state news agency and planted a fake news report that contributed to a crisis among the U.S. closest Gulf allies, according to U.S. officials briefed on the investigation. Oh, you want to know what I think? I think somebody at the Qatar News started talking some truth, man. There was a May 23rd news report on the Qatar News Agency, and they attributed, quote, false remarks to the nation's ruler that appeared friendly to Iran and Israel and questioned whether President Donald Trump would last in office. So what happens then? The Saudis come swooping in, the FBI sending a team of crack no Russian hacker people over there. That's amazing. They're saying it's a goal of Russia appears to be causing rifts in the U.S. and its allies. In recent months, suspected Russian cyber activities, including the use of fake news stories. You mean like what you guys on CNN do? Have turned up amid elections in France, Germany, and other countries. Yeah. Hey, CNN, how many stories have you done about all the bullshit we've are fake news? How many times have you covered the U.S. government? So this is Wolf Blitzer, who, when Trump bombed Syria, Tulsi Gabbard came on CNN and was talking to Wolf Blitzer, and she was like, Wolf, I don't think we have enough evidence here. If there is, let's figure this out. If Assad is doing these horrible crimes, then let's let the UN come in here and let's do sanctions and stuff like that before we try another regime change war that didn't work. And, I don't necessarily trust the reports coming from, the Secretary of Defense, the Department of Defense, the Pentagon and all this. And Wolf Blitzer was like, but I don't know. How can you say that? So in our state-run media, the CNN's always talking about Qatar's state-run and Russia's state-run. Ours is corporate-run. That's our state, is the corporate state. The corporate state tells Wolf Blitzer what to do. So in that interview with Tulsi Gabbard, she goes, yeah, but Secretary Colin Powell gave us misinformation about Iraq. We were lied to and told that they had weapons of mass destruction, which was Iraq did not have, and I lost friends over there. And Wolf Blitzer said in that interview, but but it came from the Pentagon. You got to believe it. Like the journalist it's that video that, for those of you who watched the Jimmy Dore show that he showed that came out of, I think it was the School of Economics in London or some college over there. They did that video about how it's basically about how Jeremy Corbyn's getting attacked, and the UK media is going after him because he's a progressive. If you live in the UK, vote for Corbyn on Thursday. And they talked about how the media is the guard dogs of corporate power, and when they feel threatened by a progressive, they become the attack dogs, right? And that's what is happening here. So Tulsi Gabbard is talking like she's a progressive to Wolf Blitzer, who's a guard dog for those in power. Wolf Blitzer is not a journalist. He's part of the corporate state propaganda machine, as is Fox, as is MSNBC. So they then go after Tulsi Gabbard for asking these questions. That's who Wolf Blitzer is. If you want to know who Wolf Blitzer is, that's who he is. So now he's here, and of course, they're pushing more of the Russia narrative. Russia must have done this. I don't know what happened in Qatar, but my guess is someone was starting to go, well, this is messed up. And Iran and Israel, I don't like what's going on. So Qatar has a bunch of our bases are there. So if you look on a map, it's right near Saudi Arabia. It's right near the UAE. It's right near Oman, Yemen. That's where Qatar is. It's a jumping off point for. I've never performed there. I know many comedians that did Middle Eastern tours and for the U.S. military, and many of them stopped there. And on CNN's web page for this story, it's 68% Muslim. That's a red line that comes across. 14% Christian, 14% Hindu. The only 12% of that country is Qatari. 88% is not from Qatar. They're like Kuwait. They're just a wealthy little country, and we put bases there. And so they're not allowed to speak out about America and what it's doing, and Saudi Arabia or anything like that. They're not allowed to do that. So when they do, they get put in line, and then the official story is, oh, it must have been Russia. Anytime somebody threatens the deep state and they kind of need them, like we need Qatar strategically, we need more military right there by Saudi Arabia, who commits, human rights violations on a daily basis. Then they're going to spin this. This is my guess here. Just now that you start paying attention to this crap. So this is another bullshit story, and watch if CNN tries to jump on this. This is an exclusive. It's more nonsense. And when you watch this clip and how they just Russia, and of course it's Russia on the timeline, the clickers, it's Russia invades, Russia. So, because, yeah. And there's accusations that Qatar has been financing terrorism. So, boy, we have to go in after that. And I bet you there's just something else. I bet you somebody within the Qatar government is like, why are we doing business with these guys? And the Saudis are right there, and we're tired of this. And they're speaking out, and they're like, no, you better not speak out. So I pay attention to this. Anytime Russia's attached to it, and there's oil that's in an oil part of the world, it's Russia and our military. It smells like bullshit. And, CNN is not going to ever own this. CNN is a joke, just like MSNBC. And like Fox has always been a joke. It's pretty obvious it's a joke. It's just becoming more and more clear. CNN and MSNBC are jokes. So, guys, keep supporting this show. Go to the Patreon page. So I can, I start getting $1,000 a month. I can get a screen and do clips and show you all this stuff. We'll get there. Keep supporting the show. We'll make it better. Thank you.